Chosen one, you didn't stumble here by coincidence. Something in the unseen pulled you into this moment. You can feel it, can't you? That stirring deep in your spirit that tells you this isn't just another message. This is a personal summons. There's a reason your heart is beating a little faster right now. You've been walking through battles others don't even know about, carrying visions too precious to share, and praying prayers that have yet to be spoken out loud. This is your confirmation. You are not ordinary. You are set apart. There is a unique assignment on your life that not everyone will understand, and that's exactly why you were led here. What's about to be revealed isn't for the masses. It's for those who are ready to step into a level of faith and obedience most people will never touch. And you are one of them. You've been hidden on purpose, refined in silence, strengthened in the shadows. Now heaven is leaning in to see if you're ready for what's next. If you're feeling this in your bones right now, it's because your spirit already knows. You were born for this exact moment. So lean in, stay open, and don't miss a single word. What you're about to receive could change everything. Looking for purpose and peace? Hit subscribe and start the journey. There comes a moment when an unseen directive stirs in the depths of your being. So subtle it could be mistaken for a passing thought, yet so persistent it refuses to fade. It does not arrive wrapped in spectacle. It slips in quietly, like a single drop altering the entire tide within you. What you have been entrusted with is not meant to be weighed or validated by others. It is an assignment carved to your exact measure, delivered without applause, yet heavy with meaning. If you tried to lay it bare before those around you, it would seem like describing a color no one else has ever seen. This is not a call to prove. It is a call to steward. In this season, distance may feel necessary, not to withdraw, but to protect what is still taking shape. You are not stepping away from life. You are stepping into a new dimension of it. The shift is deliberate. Certain places no longer fit because they cannot hold what is forming inside you. Silence becomes your shelter, not your sentence. You are not locked away. You are under careful construction. What grows within you has the power to outlast your lifetime, but like a seed, it can wither if handled too soon by the wrong hands. That is why doors have closed without explanation, why some paths have narrowed, why familiar circles have loosened their grip. You are carrying a rarity, and rare things are not placed on display before their time. At moments, it may feel like a burden instead of a gift. You may question your capacity, feel the weight of being misunderstood, and wonder if you misheard altogether. Yet deep within, there's a pulse that says otherwise, a steady pull that anchors you to the knowing that this is yours to carry. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. This journey will not always be met with cheers or companions. It will require discernment sharp enough to sense what others cannot, courage steady enough to move without witness, and trust strong enough to follow without a map. You are not drifting. You are being guided. You are not being withheld from. You are being readied. You are not lost. You are being set apart for a purpose that does not fit inside human logic. The truth is, this vision was never meant for every eye. It was placed in the vault of your spirit for a reason, to be safeguarded until the moment comes for it to breathe in the open. When that moment arrives, you will not need confirmation or consensus. You will simply move, because what has been entrusted to you is not about being explained. It is about being fulfilled. For everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. You know, family, when I hear that verse, I picture a farmer standing in the middle of a wide-open field. He's holding seed in his hand, but the ground isn't ready yet. He doesn't panic. He doesn't run to tell the whole town, "Look at what I'm about to plant." He waits. He knows the soil needs to be turned, the rain needs to come, and the timing has to be just right. If he throws that seed too soon, it might never take root. But if he plants it in season, quietly, without a big show, it will break the surface strong and healthy when the time is right. That's how it is with what God is doing in you right now. Step beyond the screen. Join and help light the way for others. You may feel this itch to let everybody peek into what's been stirring in your spirit, to announce your next direction, to give hints about your vision, to drop little clues about the steps you're about to take. Oh, it's tempting. You've been carrying it, feeling it, maybe even dreaming about it at night. But listen, there's wisdom in holding back. That pull to speak. It might come from emotion, not from the Spirit. And you don't want to move ahead of the one who's guiding you. This quiet season you're in, it's not a lid on your growth. It's the frame around the masterpiece. It's God saying, I'm shaping you in ways you can't see right now, and this work doesn't need an audience yet. See, the absence of noise doesn't mean the absence of progress. Some of the strongest work God will ever do in your life happens out of sight, shielded from hands that might touch it too soon or eyes that might misunderstand it. There's a rare and holy strength in progress that does not demand an audience. The kind that gains weight and stability without applause. The kind that matures away from predictions, away from chatter, away from the pressure to perform. And often, don't miss this, your deepest shaping happens when you resist the urge to explain yourself, even when you feel like you could. That isn't an activity. That's the shield around your momentum. You're not stalled, my friend. You're being reinforced. You're not being pushed to the side. You're being anchored deep so you can stand strong when the winds of life start to blow. This concealment, this hidden stretch, is deliberate. It's not punishment, it's protection. God's got you on a route that can't be tracked by folks who aren't supposed to follow. This is an unmarked road, a private path. And if you'll just keep walking it in faith, you'll find it leads exactly where He's been planning to take you all along. Let me tell you, there's something powerful about keeping certain things between you and God. Think about a pearl forming inside an oyster. It's hidden in the dark, out of sight, layer upon layer building up until it's ready to be revealed. No one's applauding that oyster. No one's saying, look what's happening inside. But when the right moment comes, and that shell opens, what's inside is priceless. That's what God's doing in you. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. So hold steady. Trust the process. Don't let impatience push you into revealing what's not ready yet. The same God who gave you the vision will give you the moment to step out. And when you do, it'll be so evident. No explanation will be needed. Right now, your part is to keep watering your faith, keep tending to your spirit, and let the master gardener handle the timing. Because when it's time for the harvest, you won't have to chase the opportunity. It'll meet you right where you are, in God's perfect season. The stillness you walk in is a map you alone can read. It is a chamber where your plans breathe without disturbance, like something valuable stored away until its appointed time. What you carry is meant to mature away from the reach of prying curiosity. What appears to others as an activity is, in truth, the architecture of your advancement. When no one knows the path, no one can block the way. When no one hears the details, no one can distort them. This is refinement without exposure, a process recognized only by those attuned to deeper movements. Rushing to speak can invite resistance you don't need. Revealing too soon can let uncertainty take root. Words given at the wrong moment can slow what was already in motion. Your quiet is a tool, and your discernment is the navigator. Every unseen act of trust resounds louder in the unseen realms than public declarations ever could. This is not about putting your work on display. It's about proving your trust without witnesses. It's about walking with assurance instead of chasing affirmation. It may feel solitary, even uncertain. Doubts may press in, whispering that silence means inaction. But you are positioned precisely where you're meant to be. Your restraint is part of the plan. Your separation shields you from burdens that aren't yours to carry right now. In following the direction you've been given, quiet is not delay, it is preservation. It safeguards your clarity, fortifies your mind, and builds your endurance. Not every insight is meant to be handed out. Some are meant to be cultivated. Stay grounded. Move subtly. Let your unveiling happen in its appointed season. When the right moment arrives, your work will speak with undeniable force. Others will wonder how so much took shape without announcement, how you traveled so far without fanfare, how you endured without recognition. The answer will rest in your intent. You didn't act for notice. You acted for purpose. This is your hidden stretch, rich with unseen progress. If you respect this quiet now, you will step into the strength it has been storing for you. Step beyond the screen. Join and help light the way for others. There are moments when the direction given to you is carved so deeply within that it could never have been addressed to anyone else. It is not an open forum, not a public discussion. It is a personal dispatch that belongs solely to your inner chamber. In seasons where trust is required above all else, one of the greatest risks is chasing human agreement for an instruction that did not originate in human thought. What you've been shown will rarely fit into familiar frameworks, rarely line up with common logic, and almost never receive immediate approval. That is because it was never designed to be weighed by the scales of reason, but to be carried by the weight of conviction. Many lose precious ground by hearing something clear in their spirit, and then handing it over to others for editing. In that space between knowing and acting, hesitation breeds, and uncertainty can be planted in soil that was meant to grow certainty. The real danger is not only in being questioned. It is in allowing the voice of someone who cares for you, but does not share your path, to soften or alter what you were given to guard. They may wish you well, yet they were not there when the words settled into your being. They did not taste the ache in your silence, or witness the wrestling that shaped your resolve. The blueprint was crafted with your hands and mind alone. Seeking outside permission for what was already authorized in a higher place hands over the pen to rewrite what was finished before you asked. Often, the need for confirmation hides a fear of stepping into the unknown without a companion's nod. We crave the reassurance of another's agreement before taking the leap. But certain instructions are built without handrails or fallback plans. They call for courage that is raw and uncluttered. They demand inner resolve, not public endorsement. The task was never meant to be voted on. It was meant to be acted upon. Yes, it can feel exposed. Yes, it can feel uncertain. But the path of trust often feels exactly like that. Those entrusted with history-changing roles did not seek consensus to proceed. They moved forward carrying something others could not interpret, because the message was never theirs to interpret. If you keep placing what you've been entrusted with in front of eyes that were not meant to see it, you risk letting shallow perspectives drain the strength from it. Some paths require quiet walking. Some responsibilities must remain under wraps, not for secrecy's sake, but to honor the weight of the trust placed in you. This can be the time you decide to cease justifying and begin acting. This can be the time you refuse to adjust the pattern to make it easier for others to accept. Not everyone will comprehend what you bear, and they are not required to. Approval from above will always outweigh the loudest cheer from the crowd. You carry enough in what you've already been told in your private moments to move forward without an extra signature. It is simple to follow through when the path ahead glows, when every turn is clearly marked, when the reasoning is obvious and the finish line feels certain. But that kind of following is the entry level. The stage you are stepping into now demands something more refined. Obedience that walks without needing a drumbeat. Obedience that holds its shape in complete quiet. This level is not decorated with celebration or public nods. It comes without elaborate directions, without a chain of confirming signs. Often, it begins only as a subtle weight in your inner life, an unshakable sense that will not leave, and no further explanation will come to ease it. At this point, the question is not whether you can follow. It is whether you can follow unseen, whether you can step into an instruction without inviting an audience, whether you can keep walking when no spotlight follows you. This is the shaping ground for those entrusted with authority in deeper matters. The measure here is not noise but stillness. Will you keep moving when it looks as if nothing is shifting? Will you stay true when the thresholds remain closed? Will you still take the road assigned to you when no one confirms the direction? That is the separation between movement born of performance and movement born of reverence. One chases eyes, the other honors the one who sends. Quiet obedience says, I do not need proof, I only need to stay in step. It does not dazzle. It does not demand attention. Its power lies in choosing trust over personal reasoning. At this stage, the priority is not how loudly you announce, but how precisely you align. The focus is on whether you will hold steady when your feelings are restless, whether you can keep going without constant reassurance. You will face stretches where the absence of validation feels heavy. You will meet questions about your stillness. You will feel the pull to explain yourself, so the waiting makes sense to others. Resist that pull. This kind of obedience is not dormancy. It is a signal to realms unseen. Each quiet act resounds beyond what human ears can hear. Both forces that stand with you and those that oppose you are watching. The false whisper says that absence of sound means absence of presence. But in truth, silence can be the very tool used to sharpen you. In hidden spaces, your insight is honed. In these unannounced seasons, your reliance deepens. Motives are sifted clean until only love remains as the reason you keep saying yes. Before there's a stage, there is a proving ground. Before the visible role, there is the private shaping. Before influence, there is the test of unseen loyalty. This part of the journey is not about racing ahead. It is about building the kind of depth that can hold what is coming. It is about becoming the kind of vessel that can be trusted with heavier assignments, wider reach, and greater weight without breaking. There comes a point in a journey where a single directive arrives, quiet, almost unremarkable, and yet it carries the weight to alter everything ahead. On the surface, it may appear as a passing thought, a subtle pull, a faint inner shift, but beneath that still exterior lies the seed of an irreversible turning. It will not arrive wrapped in spectacle. There will be no grand scene to mark its entrance, no crowd to bear witness. It will happen within the privacy of your steps, perhaps feeling routine or even inconvenient, but in unseen realms, it is a decisive pivot. This is the choice that realigns timelines, that dissolves what no longer serves you, that opens untraveled corridors. It may not look like a sweeping public gesture. Often, it is an unpublicized release, an unseen decision, a quiet end to something that once occupied your focus. It might be the nudge to leave a familiar setting. It could be the sudden courage to pursue what feels beyond your qualifications. It could be the draw toward a new environment, the release of a bond, the birth of a project, the act of sowing into something you cannot yet seed. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. It may resist your logic. It may appear uncertain. But this is not about gathering every answer. It is about moving in sync with a higher rhythm. Unseen arrangements are taking place, and your role is to follow without hesitation. The weight of this obedience may not bring excitement. It may feel heavy, solitary, or even impractical. That is because this action stretches beyond your personal chapter. It carries ripples into futures you will never fully witness. It touches generations still forming, shaping outcomes for those you have not yet encountered. One deliberate choice can redirect the course of an entire lineage. This is more than a decision. It is a keystone. It is intentional, far-reaching, and purposeful. And the opposition to it will often try to manifest as hesitation, as the urge to stall until the step feels safe, as the temptation to wait for more certainty. Yet this moment, small as it may seem, holds the power to unlock alignments, favor, and connections you could not orchestrate yourself. It is the unseen switch that ignites a chain of access, acceleration, and opportunity. Do not be deceived by its simplicity. Hidden does not mean powerless. Quiet does not mean irrelevant. You are standing where paths converge, and your response determines the direction forward. Avoid the need to make sense of every detail. Release the need for others to agree. Stop looking for permission to act on what you already know you must do. Move. Step without noise. Step with certainty. Step with honor. What unfolds on the other side of this moment will not only shift the framework of your life, It will alter the atmosphere that surrounds you. It will dismantle patterns that once held you, establish new realms of freedom, and position you for release into places you never imagined possible. Before any unveiling comes the season where your unseen life is weighed. Advancement does not begin with the moment others recognize you. It begins with how you carry yourself when no one is looking. This is the stretch of the journey few speak about, where your dedication is hidden from the eyes of people, but observed closely by the one who called you. It is simple to remain steady when the crowd celebrates you, when support is obvious, when the path is clearly unfolding. But the real shaping happens when you walk through instructions that feel heavy while outcomes stay invisible, when the waiting stretches long and recognition feels far away. In these unseen spaces, the measure is not your outward achievement, but your inward stance. Will you keep your posture steady when progress cannot be tracked? Will you hold to the course when no one else stands beside you? Will you still act on what you've been shown when no one notices the work? This is where character is forged. What you cultivate here becomes the foundation for what will be entrusted to you later. Advancement is not granted for charm, skill, or visibility. It comes to those who prove reliable when no one else knows the details. This season is shaping your motives, strengthening your endurance, and training your senses to recognize the voice that matters most. It is loosening your grip on the need for constant affirmation, teaching you to move simply because you know it is right. This is maturity, obedience rooted in conviction rather than outcome. It is learning to bear the responsibility given to you even when it feels as though you carry it in solitude, while knowing you are not actually alone. The unseen work is not punishment, it is preparation. Resist the urge to label this as delay or dismissal. It is refinement, not rejection. Many desire the visible reward, but few are willing to endure the silent shaping that makes it sustainable. This place you are in is set apart. Others before you walk through hidden seasons before stepping into greater influence. They were trusted in private before they were known in public. You have not been bypassed. You are being built. When the time comes for your life to be displayed, it will not be because you fought for recognition. It will be because you proved steadfast in the unlit places. The consistency, humility, and depth you are forming now will be the very things that keep you standing when influence comes. Avoid the distraction of comparisons. Stay diligent in the unseen tasks. Continue honoring the moments you've set aside for listening and following. Remain faithful to what you have been given, even without an audience, for the one who sees in secret is the one who lifts in his timing. You have walked through seasons that have carved depth into your soul, endured pressures that forge resilience, and waded through stretches that refined your focus. What stands before you now is not a casual opportunity. It is the moment everything until now has been shaping you for. Every challenge, pause, and unexpected turn has led you here. Yet the weight of this transition demands your silence. This is not for discussion. This is for decisive action. A passage is opened, singular, pivotal, and irreversible. It is the threshold that redefines your influence, sets new foundations, and alters the trajectory of more than just your own path. But it does not call for ceremony or public declaration. It calls for quiet precision. You do not need to persuade anyone to understand, and you do not require validation to proceed. The direction you are receiving in this hour is not designed to be dissected by others. It belongs solely to the dialogue between you and the one who entrusted it. Guard this shift. Do not dilute it with unnecessary conversation. This moment is not for approval seeking, but for execution. The assignment may press against your comfort, but it comes with clarity. You are not being asked to debate its value. You are being asked to move. The test here is not about your willingness to act in the open, but about your ability to move in the unseen. Can you step into a defining chapter without broadcasting it? Can you transition without alerting the very forces that would oppose it? True trust thrives without spectacle. Progress, without proclamation, dismantles the strategies of resistance. This is a quiet turning, a calculated advance. Hold it close. Speak less. Move steadily. Act with intention. Your preparation is complete. Your refinement has been thorough. Now the only thing left is to enter what has been held for you all along. Resist the urge for extra confirmation. Do not soften your decision to make others comfortable. Step forward as if the ground is already secured beneath you, because it is. What happens beyond this point will reshape not just your circumstances, but the entire atmosphere surrounding you. Your responsibilities will expand, your influence will deepen, and your provision will flow with balance between favor and peace. You have already passed the long test of waiting. Now step into the equally vital test of moving without fanfare. This is your appointed shift. It has been aligned long before you reached it. The moment has arrived. Now it is your turn to cross through.